Hello everybody, how you doing? My name is Michael, and we're going to be continuing this playthrough of Dark Souls 2. And we're going to be going into the Dragon Aerie, one of the best looking areas in the game. It looks really, really cool. It's sort of an abode of the remaining dragons, most of whom are flying around up there, if you can see one, up in the skybox. However, there are 3 of them that are identical to the Guardian Dragon that we have to fight. And wow, I mean, right away we get more Guardian Dragons just after we fought this one. This is an area, by the way, that you will have to explore multiple times in order to get all the stuff in. So you're going to have to go back to the bonfire a bunch of times, but we're not going to have to worry about that in a second. Let's talk to this Hibernian young lady over here.
Bearer of the curse, long have I awaited one such as you. One who might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse, it was my own manifestation that led you here. The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this. Do not resist. The dragon welcomes you.
Okay, before we talk about what she said, let us take a look at an awesome new item. Bye Bye Homeward Bones, Aged Feather. This is a reusable Homeward Bones. You never have to worry about buying those ever again. That is so, so cool. I love that. That's a great idea. Something I hated in Demon Souls was that the equivalent item to a Homeward Bone, the Shard of Archstone, was an absolutely pathetically useless. I mean, it was. You could find them here and there, but it did the same thing, returned you to the Archstone, the equivalent of the checkpoint in that game. But they were incredibly rare and very expensive. I think you might have been able to farm them from the rats in the Valley of Defilement, but I'm not sure about that. The point is, they were way, way, way too rare, and it was ridiculous that we had to. That it was such a costly item to return you to the bonfire. And in that way, I would say that the Souls games got a lot better, because you could buy as many Homeward Bones as you needed, and they were fairly inexpensive and you can get them pretty early on from the female undead merchant. And this game just makes it as easy as it can possibly be. Now, let's go across this bridge. We are very, very high up here, so do not fall off, and make sure not to accidentally roll off. If you'll take a look down there through our bow, you will see a Kamikaze Hollow. However, these guys can't actually hurt us. When they explode, they don't do health damage. They do equipment damage. And they can usually be killed with just one hit. So that's what you ought to do. Now this area, the Dragon Aerie, was called by Epic Namebro, a great Dark Souls YouTuber, as Candyland, because of all the goodies you can get in it, and he is absolutely right. This place is Candyland. You can get tons of awesome goodies all around this place. Because there are about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 crystal lizards in this area. So if you ever need to get upgrade items, use a bonfire ascetic here. The dragons that we're about to fight in this game are about as difficult as the Guardian Dragon in the previous area. In fact, considerably less difficult, because they don't use their fire very often. They use more or less their physical attacks. And it's pretty easy to kill these guys. So if you want to run through here multiple times on multiple ascetics, that's what you want to do to get the good stuff. And I'm actually going to be switching over to my Great Club, because it's just simpler to kill these guys with that. As we know, these guys. The first one is immediately, not to this right, but past the eggs. And you can get tons of good upgrade items from these guys. Stock yourself up real good. This is something that annoyed people, including myself. Do you see that right there? Those eggs up there, and there's kind of a message buried between them? You can drop down to it from up there, but guess what? There's nothing there. That's so obnoxious that, I spent so much time trying to jump down there, and there was freaking nothing. Thanks. Oh! This one's actually going for a fire right away. I know that may look bad, considering I just said that. It's like, oh, wait, are these guys harder than you were saying? No, they're not. They're really not. And when you kill these guys, they just die. They do not respawn. You only have to kill them once. Be careful, though, because if you stand directly behind them underneath the tail, they actually have they can smash their tail down on you, and that can do a significant amount of damage. However, if you have a good shield, you can actually have it bounce back up. Like if you have a good tower shield, it can bounce back up off of it. So it looks kind of neat. I like that. Oops. I think you can also cut the tail off of this dragon, by the way. But, oh, thank God. Got really lucky there. I have no idea how this guy... Oh, can I still get this? That looked like some kind of glitch. That was weird. He almost seemed to run, like, into the wall, because usually that guy will just run away. And there were actually several more of those two more of the Crystal Lizard. One right here when you come out, but he got away. And another one that will run into this pile of eggs over here. So you just have to come back in multiple times to get all of the Crystal Lizard guys. And this is actually Dragon Tooth, the weapon of our good friend Havel the Rock from Dark Souls 1. And I think it needs 50 strength to one hand, which we can't do. This is supposed to be like the tooth of a dragon. And something that really, really pissed me off is, look, it has durability damage. Anyone that plays Dark Souls 1 will remember that the dragon tooth cannot degrade. Its weapon it's made of ancient dragon parts. So it can't be broken. It literally has 999 durability, and I don't think you can break it. And that angered the hell out of me that they didn't keep that continuity here and there. I'm not usually a continuity whore, but you really ought to. Now let's go across this bridge here. You can go around to the bottom and through a little tunnel to get there, but there's no real purpose to it. And I bring my bow out because it's just faster to kill. There are more kamikaze hollows here. These hollows can actually drop the equipment, the buffing items like resin, especially dark resin and gold pine resin. That's the next area, by the way. The Dragon Shrine. So if you wanted to farm things like, that resin, not that you really need to, you may want to come up here to do it. Still think this thing looks like it's covered in ketchup. Still think it looks like it's covered in ketchup. Let's see how Jorg's spear does against these guys. Now, if you come up around here, across this bridge, take a look over there. We have another one of those dragons, but we're not going to run straight at it. We're going to go around and find, I believe, some petrified dragon bones. Hurrah for rolling. Let's see here. Yep. Petrified dragon bone. And we're going to jump down on this guy from up here, which I think is just a little bit easier for us. Just who can't get the follow-up on the R2 there. This guy has a greater tendency to use his flame, by the way, because I guess the area is a little bit more open. Oh! There's a kamikaze hollow back here, by the way. I should have killed this guy first. And let's keep fighting. This area has a fair amount of invasions to it, by the way. That bite attack will always go left to right, so if you're standing on the left here, they can't really hurt you. You don't have to worry about it. So I love that I missed there, but because of the weird twin blade follow-up, I could still get a hit. I like that. Occasionally, by the way, these guys will drop either petrified something, or petrified dragon bone, or maybe even dragon scales, but petrified something. I think maybe when I first came in here, they actually dropped dragon scales, but Maybe I'm misremembering that. There's one way down here who usually does not aggro. And there was one over there that does aggro during the fight. So just try to approach him from the middle. So whichever way he tries to run, he can't really have any place to go. Twinkling Titanite, very nice. Already lost 9 durability points. That annoys me. Okay. Now let's get this last guy. Now we could go through that cave there and drop down on the dragon from above and get a leaping attack. But I don't really think there's any point to that. It doesn't, either way, you know, the same darn fight we've fought 3 times before. 2 plus a boss. Down there, by the way, I'm not going to go bother getting this, I think. It's, I believe, a Pharos Lockstone down there and a soul item of a few thousand souls. Questionable whether you want to do it. You're not going to lose any souls now because you just not homeward bone. See, that was the tail slam. That can be very dangerous. You can just use your feather to get out of here. We should have made these guys tougher. I mean, you are getting a reward in the area. I like after I attack, I can sort of move where the attack is going and sort of correct myself. But it's not as easy as all that to correct yourself. There are also crystal lizards in this area, but you almost always have to wait in order to get them, I think. Oh, a double step. I think they usually did that. There we go. Getting very close. And we may die. As always, this is Dark Souls 2. I like how things can go from peachy to pear-shaped in, 2 seconds. But we took him down. I really think these guys should drop something every time you kill them. I mean, they are a dragon, for heaven's sakes. Petrified Dragon Bone. Dragon Shrine. Oh, wait. No, he aggroed. And I think there's a ring over here, but I don't remember what it is. Ring of the Evil Eye +1. 2 mistakes! 2 mistakes with this ring! What the hell is going on? For God's sakes, he already had the mistake before by pointlessly putting the +1 before the regular one, but you just randomly put the ring down there? I suppose there could be some sort of lore reason to it, but whatever that is, I don't know. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There should just be the one damn ring. For goodness sake. There's a way to get a crystal lizard by jumping down out of here. Early on in the game, there was a weird glitch you could do, where you could, you could cheese the guy at range from here. I don't know if his fire could get up here. Probably not. Where you could leap down on top of the dragon, and he would catapult you into the sky, and you would land way over there. So, I think it would cause the game to glitch out anyway, so it's not the best thing in the world. Can you see him, the crystal lizard, by the way? Just underneath there? Yep, there he is. I see you. I see you, bro. This guy's a little tricky to get, but with a big club, I think I'm going to be okay. Whoop. Maybe not. Nice. Don't want a Titanite slab. That's nice. Now let us unlock the shortcut here. This bridge, by the way, is one of the places that Chaos Royal Sorcerer Navlan will invade you. If you will, if you were unwise enough to let him out. Let us... And yeah, more zip lines. I'm not crazy about this being here, but I don't really see any other way for you to get back. So, I guess it does make sense. And we can kick the ladder down here. And we can head back over here. I'm going to drop down for a second. I'm going to actually put my my ring on before I do this. You have to jump off just at the right moment, and you can get a Soul of a Great Hero. So that's pretty useful. Although, that is fairly useful, although I would have preferred it to be maybe petrified dragon bone or petrified something a little more unique. But, you know, it's nice enough. We're going to be going across to this next area, and we're going to be speaking to our strange friend, Lord Aldea, once again. I should mention that... Wait, can I do this? I can use Estus on the ladder. I don't think you could do that in the other games. Don't know if there's a tremendous amount of purpose to that, but still, whatever, right? Let me just head over here. I kind of like flying through here. I mean, we did zipline stuff in high school, so it kind of reminds me of that. I still have my Ring of Life protection on. During one of the early game trailers or demos, something, we saw when you went across this bridge, you were attacked by a dragon and killed. And you can still have that, but what you need to do is destroy some of the eggs on the way here, and very slowly go across here. So slow that it's abnormally slow, that you wouldn't normally go down this way. And that's the only way you can get the dragons to do that. I don't think that because I rested at the bonfire, I think it doesn't count. I did destroy some of the eggs. I don't know how many you have to destroy. But it doesn't look like we're going to get it. You have to kind of like deliberately like wait on the bridge for one of the dragons to destroy it. And that seems kind of stupid. So, anyway, we have somebody to talk to here. This is a great looking area too, by the way, the Dragon Shrine. Let's have a chat though.
Young Hollow, how you grapple without falter with this dreadfully twisted world. Peace grants men the illusion of life. Shackled by falsehoods, they yearn for love, unaware of its grand illusion. Until the curse touches their flesh. We are bound by this yoke, as true as the dark that churns within men. All men trust fully the illusion of life. But is this so wrong? A construction of facade, and yet a world full of warmth and resplendence. Now, Hollow, are you intent on shattering the yoke? Spoiling this wonderful falsehood? I am Aldia. I sought to shed the yoke of fate, but failed. Now, I only await an answer. Seek the throne. Seek light, dark, and what lies beyond.
So that was pretty weird. It seems that Aldea failed in his quest to break the shackles of fate. And, well, you can't have perfection. Now, Aldea being there is very confusing for the Dragon Shrine, because we're actually going to meet a very large dragon at the end of this. I apologize for that cut there. But let's get back here. I'm going to level up a little bit. I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but the leveling up system in this game was completely screwed over. This is such a bad thing that, I mean, I'm already level 123 and I haven't even done 2 of the DLCs. So, I mean, it's questionable whether I even should continue to level up, whether I should maybe just stop and come back at another time, or like stop at 140 or 150, which I think I will stop at 150, but that even seems pretty high too. I mean, that 150 is more where I'd be at trundling right along in New Game Plus and Dark Souls 1. So, Demon Souls, too few levels. Dark Souls 2, too many. Dark Souls 1 is still the middle porridge. They got everything just right. Now, the enemies in this area are the large sentinel-like enemies that we saw in Hyde's Tower of Flame, except that these guys are much tougher. I'm also going to put on Covetous Gold Serpent Ring because I like their swords. When you get it, it is actually like a straight sword, like in a long sword or a broadsword, but it actually looks pretty cool. It reminds me of sort of a Bronze Age sword, and because of my love of the classical world, I just really enjoy it. We're going to run up here because there's a spellcaster trying to cheese us at range from far away while we're fighting these guys, so we have to take them out first. Those are the Sentinel guys, by the way. Their shields are kind of neat too, and their armor is pretty good too. But that that sword is the most unique looking thing. And just run past this guy here, because we need to take out that caster, or else we're going to be having a hell of a time fighting these guys. It will not be fun. If that electricity hits you, it'll sort of explode and kind of knock you down, and it could very easily knock you off the end of that bridge. That, by the way, is repeatedly said to be a priestess, I believe, not a priest. I don't know if that matters at all. I mean, I don't see how it could matter, but, you know, whatever. These are the Drake Keepers. Not exactly sure what these guys were doing here, maybe keeping track of the dragons or something like that. But, their armor is pretty cool. I'd like to fight that guy over there, by the way, because this is a wooden chest with Twinkling Titanite in it, and I do not like to be, I do not like to see the chest break, because the Twinkling Titanite will be destroyed, unfortunately. Now this next guy with the hammer may give us pause, but let us see what we can do with him. Oh boy. Oh Lord. I hate that guy. And I'm not alone, by the way, in pathetically cheesing him at range, because he has no stamina. The fact that he can swing that thing 4 times is absurd. Absolutely absurd. I hate that. That he can get 4 swings with that thing off. It's completely ridiculous. It makes no sense, and it's very contradictory to Dark Souls in general, that the enemy is able to do that. The enemy should have stamina. You know, the enemies, the Sentinel guys in Einar Longdo were tough too. But Jesus, I mean, these guys, come on. And there are other guys that are really tough as well later on. In a slightly different way, but still, Jesus. I think you can get that weapon of theirs, maybe. There we go. And there's another hammer guy up there too, but we'll head down here first. I think these guys actually used to be a lot tougher than they are. They can actually shoot a little soul arrow type thing out from there when they do an attack, but it's not really dangerous because it's so slow. You can get some bonfire ascetics over here. I like this disused little room here. I think it's 3 or 4. It's 3. We can also get the best staff in the game here, but you need a Pharos Lockstone. There's usually a message next to it leading you to it. And if we do this here, little Pharos Lockstone, and there we go. We can also get Velka's armor from Dark Souls 1. I don't know if it's called Velka's armor, it's whatever that is. The Staff of Wisdom. The Staff of Wisdom looks pretty cool too, and it requires 50 intelligence to use, but it's the best sorcery staff in the game. Now let's do a little bit more cheesing of these guys, because like I said, fighting those hammer guys is ridiculous, and it's really, really obnoxious, and, well, I prefer not to do it. There he is up there, and you actually have to fight him next to one of the other guys, see? One of the sword guys. Fighting one of those hammer guys is tough enough. Fighting 2 of them? You gotta be kidding me. We also want to get that chest over there. If you come in here with poison arrows, it makes everything so much easier. This contains a Drake Keeper axe, which is actually a pretty good axe weapon. I think scales with a B or an A with strength. You also, yeah, B with strength, probably can get that up to an A. Pretty darn good great shield, called the Drake Keeper's Great Shield, so I think that definitely looks cool. But, again, you choke up, you should choke up on it a little bit more. It seems a bit too, yeah, I'm not crazy about that. And I like the shield a lot, too. That little bubble at front, though, I'm not crazy about, but otherwise it's a pretty darn good shield. Now let's commence the cheesing. Yeah, there we go. I don't like that little plume at the top of their armor there, actually, now that I think about it. If you have spells, by the way, this becomes extra easy if you just come over here. You really only need to cheese one of them anyway. It's a little easier to cheese them here, because if you stand up where the priest was, they'll eventually start walking down towards you. Not that they can reach you, but it is annoying to see them come down here, because it's a little bit harder to aim at them. And let's fight this guy. Boy, I need more endurance, Jesus. Alrighty. There we go. Still haven't got anything. Alright. I missed this on my first part through because I was fighting these guys, and it's when I was coming back here to farm I noticed this a little bit later on. Be a half an hour later or so. You can pop down here through these boxes. This is a mimic. Be aware of that. It also contains some really cool stuff. Oh my god, no! I'm dead! Fuck. Oh my lord, I survived that. How? Damn you, York Spear, you betrayed me. There we go. That's better. And we get the Petrified Dragon Bone and a incredibly long katana called the Washing Pole, which is somewhere around here. Is that it? Yes, it is. This actually existed in Dark Souls 1, and I like it because it looks so bizarre and huge, but the moveset wasn't as good as this, and it had terrible scaling, a D with, I think, strength, and not really nothing with dex, so it actually has the standard A scaling with dexterity now, or B and eventually get up to an A. So that's pretty darn cool. And we get some Petrified Twinkling Titanite? What is this? Titanite Slab, that's what you get. The Washing Pole doesn't really make a lot of sense as a historical weapon, but it looks cool, so, you know, that's enough for me. These guys also have hammers, however, they have more of a warhammer type thing. Tragically, it does not function like a warhammer when we get it, because we hit them with the point end, not the hammer end. So, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, that should be an option, but that Great Shield they have there, the Great Shield of Glory, blocks a pretty small amount of damage, because, like, when we get it, it blocks 100% damage. It's a normal, you know, good Great Shield. But when they have it, a surprising amount of damage can get through it. So they must have realized that these guys were too damn difficult with those shields, and they had to change it. This is another guy who suffers from stamina-itis, because his stamina is just, you know, for days. Just never seems to end. He might be a little less tough than the other guy, but still, he's not someone you want to screw around with. And, I mean, I shouldn't have to be cheesing these guys at range. I tend not to even fight the Sentinels in Anor Londo. Another curious level design here where they have apparently... How did this guy even get down here if the door is not large enough for him to fit through? It seems like the architect of Drangleic is not a bright man. And as soon as we enter that door there, we are going to be invaded by a man named Dragonfang Villard. There's a cool little design up there. I like that a lot. What is this dragon doing? Are they worshipping it? Is it menacing them? Who are these people? Looks like a Bible scene almost, except with dragons. That would have made the Bible a lot more interesting. Let us head over here. We're also going to get a great ring in this place, called the Third Dragon Ring, which increases stamina, health, and equipment burden. However, unlike in Dark Souls 1, where they had a ring like that, but it broke if you took it off, so if you put it on, you had to keep it on forever. In this game, you can just keep it on, take it off whenever you feel like. This guy, I think, also has a rare chance of dropping dragon-related items. However, we don't really... It's so rare. I mean, don't be concerned if you don't get anything. It's really rare. There we go. And he's gone. And over here we can get a shield called the Watch Dragon Parma. It looks kind of neat. It's got kind of an odd design on it. Let me show you this here. Where is that? I kind of like the look of it, but it seems weird that it's in these black and white or green. Almost looks green and white to me. These colors here. Not a bad shield. And here we have access now to the Dragon Covenant. You pick up this petrified egg, and you have to give it to Magarod of Lanafir in the Iron Keep. Remember that guy? And if you give it to him, he will let you join the Dragon Covenant, which means that when you leave an invasion sign, it is with your... I forget the name of the item, but if you leave an invasion sign, it will be in the shape of a dragon's head, and you can duel people, and whoever wins gets a dragon scale, and if you get 30 of them, you can get the full dragon armor set. Crystal magic weapon, that's a really good item there. And let's head up here. We're also going to be cheesing people with range. I just do this constantly in this, now that you mention it, I'm just going to give in and put on a weapon I'm more comfortable with, the Great Club. I'm just so much more at ease with that weapon. And the reason I want the covetous gold serpent ring out is because of these guys. You see that sword sticking out there? These Drake Keepers have a giant two-handed sword, and this is a great, great weapon. Not only does it look cool and kind of unique, it's sort of obsidian and black and has this really neat look to it. It's actually one of the best strength weapons in the game, because it has the same moveset as the Zweihander, except... Did I get it, please? No, I didn't get it. But it also has an A scaling with strength. And that was the problem with the Zweihander. It had that amazing moveset, but it did not... Oh, no, 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 don't kill me, please! Fuck! God damn it. Fuck. But the Drake Keeper sword also had a... completely lost my train of thought here. Anyway, not only does it have the cool Zweihander moveset, but it also has an A scaling, I think, with with strength eventually. So that makes it a really cool weapon. This is a tedious little area at times. But then you can say that about anything with Dark Souls 2. And I also have to point out the general cheapness of the level design that we passed through. We have a gigantic staircase there, and there are, I believe, 4 sentinels along it. And not only that, but there are 3 dragon guys, dragon knights, I guess you could say, also in there. Oh Lord, did I get him? Yes, I did. And these dragon knights are pretty tough as well, and they're pretty scary guys because they can actually break your guard with that shove attack. And it's just like this long hallway filled with them, you know? If this was, say, in a Final Fantasy game, everyone would have been railing against it, but because it's here in Dark Souls, it's okay? Alright. Obviously, this entire thing can just be forgotten about and cheesed with range, if you so desire. I did get the shield, though. That's kind of nice. Forgot you could break out of the animation like that. We need to go to the very top of this place and talk to the dragon there to continue on with this level. Or not this level, the game. There are two of the hammer guys up here, so if you want to farm that hammer, not that you really would want to, they're up there. I think the dragon guys here will also drop pieces of the dragon armor as well. So, if you want to farm that, no, not the dragon armor, I'm sorry, the dragon weapons. There's a dragon axe and a dragon sword, which both have really good, are no scaling required weapons. If you upgrade them regularly, they'll do a lot of damage. I might be able to one-shot him now. Yes, I am. Thank goodness. I know this is exceptionally cheap and pathetic, but I don't feel like going back again. And these guys might also have a little bit better in the way of stamina than the other guys, in that it slows down a bit, but still. They're so huge. I mean, the Sentinels in Anor Londo did not fight this way. They were, I think, a lot better designed overall. I want to make sure I can one-shot him. Whoa! Nothing? Shit. I'll probably have to try to come back and farm that sword out. Make sure to use arrows to aggro these guys one at a time. The one on the right has a Black Dragon War Pick, which is a neat little weapon, but again, you use it in a little bit too complicated a way for me. I mean, it should just be a little simple smash attack to it. But he gets fancy with his attacks here. He can break your guard, he can do all kinds of stuff. And they also drop a shield too, by the way. That looks... It's actually a very good shield, but I think it looks kind of disgusting, because it's sort of covered with pieces of dragon scale or something like that, and not exactly the most fun. This guy is dual-wielding dragon axes, but dropping those weapons it's pretty rare. I don't think you should. Don't bank on getting one. There we go. Now we have two of these obnoxious pick-wielding, or war pick? No, not war pick. What is it called? Drakekeeper hammers? Is that it? Also have the Great Shield of Glory there. I don't think there's a whole lot of glory in being some ponce who has infinite stamina. I mean, these guys they've hacked the game to give themselves infinite stamina. That's what these guys are. That's what their so-called glory is. And of course, you can just lead these guys right on the way down here, and they usually stop aggroing here or so, and you can just go to the door and just take them out that way. They can't heal, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about that. Maybe they can be led all the way down to the door, I don't remember. Their shield looks meh. It looks okay. There are better looking great shields, I think. Has sort of a weird, kind of wrinkled quality to it, which I'm not crazy about. I prefer the Dragon Keeper Great Shield, the regular one, to the Great Shield of Glory. Oop. The next guy that we come across is another Dragon Knight, and he's actually pretty dangerous, because he's very fast. But again, you know, dim poison arrows, if you just want to come here with that, you got nothing to worry about. I actually got a significant number of souls for being here. Granted, I died and had to repeat part of it, but I already have 52,000 souls, so that's practically like defeating a boss. See, 48 damage is way too much through that shield. And that's just physical arrows. There's no magical damage there. The area around here does look beautiful. I love the way that the shrine looks. It really does look like it's based on a medieval cathedral, and I wonder if it is based on an actual medieval cathedral, or just in general on those types of buildings. Obviously, except for the dragon statues, which I doubt you'd find in a medieval cathedral. That would have made them a lot cooler. Although there were gargoyles, so there were weird monsters that they invented that he put on the side. Alright, let's go take this guy down. And then hopefully we can get up to the ancient dragon. Ooh! Headshot. Really, I'm just using the length of this weapon to... is really the only strength I have here. And the fact that it can knock people down and force them to restart their aggro. Probably have to come back and farm out that greatsword. Let us go chat with this guy, or, well, briefly interact with him. He will say no more. And he didn't really talk to us at all, anyway. But, considering this a little overlong episode, I'm going to end it right here. Praise the sun. I'll see you in the next episode.